Check out this view, guys. One of our favorite places we love to be. There's my wife in the pool. What's going on, guys?
Paul here. Daddy.
Hope everybody's doing well on this Thursday afternoon. I just got back from the beach, and I'm gonna hop in the pool with my wife. We're gonna talk to y'all. So, oh, that was a little deeper than I thought. There she is.
Hi guys.
What's going on? What are we doing?
We are hanging.
So,
enjoying a little R&R today.
Right before we get to work here soon. So anyway,
Yes.
just wanted to go live with you guys. What are we gonna talk about? Marriage? Supporting each other?
Yep. Talking about like that push and pull that you guys need to have, like supporting your partner no matter what they're up to, and when they come to you with crazy ideas, like how do you tackle that, or things they're not happy with? How do you work through that as a couple?
So yeah, for those of you that don't know, when I left the fire department, Jacqueline and I started our wellness business. We revamped kind of a business that she already had. We kind of flipped roles, right? So I went from the firefighter who was bringing in the majority of the money. She was the business owner who was bringing in some money, and we flipped roles. So then we decided to just go into business together because we love being with each other and just doing life together. And so a lot of what we do is just that. And so now I'm in the office and she's kind of front and center, running our wellness business. I'm in the back area just trying to, you guys are fine. And I'm in the back office just supporting her so that she can do her thing. And
Yeah, I think, especially if you've been married long enough, this happens at some point. Somebody's going to make a major change. Somebody's going to want to do something different, structure your lives differently. So we basically flipped, and like I have the producing business, and we're flipping and revamping again right now.
Yeah.
And again, it's like when Paul came to me and said, I really feel led to do this. I'm going to do this. I need to do this. I'm like, yeah, 100%. Is it scary? Yes. Like, him walking away from a steady paycheck for our family that we knew we could count on. We had a lot of discussions on just that.
Well, those discussions surrounded fear.
Yeah.
And I was literally talking to someone the other day on my way back to California, or from California, and they're getting ready to quit their job. And I just told them, I was like, look, your worst fears that you have about leaving your 9-to-5 job, if you just go and do the work, it will never come true. Not a single fear that we had when I left the fire department came true.
Nope.
Not even one, not even close.
Nope.
Because that's the thing, is when you guys invest in yourselves and you rely on yourself, then what you can accomplish is pretty fucking amazing. So so now we're in a period of transition, and I'm still working in our business, but I'm now launching my own thing, because as a man I feel like I needed to produce, but more importantly I was called to go do what I'm doing. And so I guess just curious, like what have you seen from a spousal point of view, like what I've gone through in the past 3 months? Like what has that been like for you?
I love it. Like I'm totally watching this man show up differently for myself, for our kids, even for our current, business together. Like I've watched Paul grow so much and change so much over the last, 3-4 months, however long it's been.
Yeah.
And it makes me so excited for what we're building, like what is coming, what is next.
And you're not just saying that because we're live, right?
No, and it's so important. I was just having a conversation this week with one of my patients, and they got the call that the good friend of their daughter's mom, who was just at the soccer game with them, had a heart attack on the way home. Like she had just seen her, had a heart attack. 40 something, very young. Guys, life is so short. Like I just sat there and I'm like, wow, like, it's so important to do what makes you
happy.
Yeah, happy, and what you're called to do.
But that's the thing is,
but it's hard for people to get there, and it's hard for a spouse. I think sometimes when they like somebody comes to you and they're like, I want to do this, like trying to figure that out together in a positive way.
Well, and that's why I asked you, because like what has changed for me is it wasn't that I wasn't doing things as a husband or a business owner or as a father. What changed was I stepped into my purpose and I stepped into my calling. And just by doing that and being in the pocket of that area or container, whatever it is of life, you tend to show up differently, right? And I mean, this is I mean, it's a plug, but we literally just talked about this on our last podcast episode, which was rise or fall together. Like, you either are going to rise together and reign your marriage, or you're going to have, I'm just trying to see who, you know, or you're going to fall. Like, and so often I think couples tend to get lost because one person decides to start rising, so that they can be in that pocket, so they can step in their purpose, so they can accept their calling. And a lot of times, and it goes both ways, men or women, whatever, sometimes the other spousal partner may be trying to hold you back because they see something in you and you're doing something that they want or that they desire or that they don't feel like they can do, and then it creates this tension and so
and resentment. A lot of times. You know, how many 40 somethings as their kids get older are getting divorced because they've like reached this breaking point. Somebody's really, really resentful because they've been, you know, typically the householder where they're running the kids around, they're doing all the things, and they've put their career on hold a lot, or their passions or their desires.
But see, that's the other thing. I was having a conversation. So we're out here in Florida, in Panama City. We're out here for work. It looks like we're relaxing, which we are before we go into a couple days of in-depth, you know, discussions and things like that for our business. But the thing about it is just having a discussion is, look, guys, I'm 38 years old. I was 31 when I left the fire department. We were 30 and 31 when we started or revamped, or whatever you want to call it, a whole other business. And now at 38 years old, I'm making a change again, because that person, that couple, that married couple, back when we were 30 and 31, 7+ years ago, we are different now. We are better, we are different, we're wealthier, we have different values, we're stronger, everything is better today than it was 7 years ago. Not that it was even bad 7 years ago, but my point to you is this: it's that it doesn't matter who you are or how old you are. Like, it doesn't matter if you're 57. I have some guys in this coaching group that I'm in that are in their 60s. I have some guys that are in their 50s that are walking away from their entire career because they feel called and they're going to step into their purpose and start a whole new fucking game. Like, so if you're watching and you're telling yourself that, I'm too old, I don't have the time, but you feel called to do this, I promise you, it is going to come back around 2 years from now, and you're going to say, I should have stepped in. I should have accepted my call. I should have done this. And that's where Jacqueline's saying, like, life is too short.
It is.
You know, like, we're almost 2 weeks away from taking our dream trip to Ireland, something that we've been dreaming and talking about and scheming for 5, 6, 7 years. And at this point, I feel like we have fucked up to a sense that we haven't made that happen. Because you're never...
Even us. Like,
absolutely.
We just, you know, and some of it wasn't our choice.
Right.
Because we couldn't get into the country, but it's like we've been waiting too long. It's
Well, we couldn't get into the country because of our principles, which was yesterday's video. So my message to you guys today is overall, like, you need to find a way to step up in the pocket that you need to step up in. And as soon as you do that, no matter the fears or the doubts or whatever, the moment you decide to step up into that pocket, your life changes forever. mean, you heard it from her. She didn't just say that stuff because we're live on fucking social media. She said it because she means it, and because we're going to come at you with nothing but truth. You know, and we've had some hard conversations, and we have had tears, and we have had arguments about this whole process that I'm on. Not that she doesn't support me, it's just more of us developing individually because we're doing something new, but also developing as a married couple.
Yeah.
Like we are continuing to pursue the avenue of rising together.
Daddy.
Why? Ultimately because we want to fucking have it all.
I think though too, on that note, like this has been talked about to us this week. Life is better if you both like reach your hand down and rise with your spouse.
Yeah.
Like bring them on that journey with you. Like even if they're not quite ready or not sure where they're headed, like rise together.
Right.
It is so much easier, and you can accomplish. I'm seeing what we can accomplish in a few months, and it is totally different than when one is rising and kind of pulling the other along.
Yeah, and you know, for a long time, I've surrounded myself with people that are definitely at different stages in life and that have already chosen to rise. And when you constantly put yourself in those rooms and you continue to do that, like you get to understand a lot of things that you didn't understand before. Like some of this, you know, when it comes to certain things like stepping into the pocket and making the decisions to just go, like when you talk to these people that have already made that decision, like they tell you like it's so much easier than you think. They tell you things like that. Oh, it's simple. And at that time you don't want to hear it, but it's like as soon as you make that decision to go, and then once you get in the pocket, you're like, oh, I fucking get it. Like, yeah, like how many people stop at chasing their dream or chasing their purpose because they have a 9-to-5 job that supports their family? Puh. That fucking number is probably staggering. That number is probably so fucking big that people feel called and led to go do something else, but they rely on that paycheck. They rely, and I can promise you guys, as someone that had, quote unquote, a 9-to-5 job at the fire department for 14 years, that had a steady paycheck, it wasn't something that I could fucking do. So with that, guys, as always, if you're interested in coaching with me, shoot me a direct message and we'll go from there. So other than that, we're gonna get back to pool time.
Pool time
Especially
today.
especially as the crew's coming back. So all right, guys, have a